Hey everybody, welcome to the College Football Rundown, Halloween edition, where we go over 5 games from this week in college football in 5 minutes or less. Here we go. Kicking it off with Kansas upsetting number 6 Oklahoma, and an ESPN analyst actually predicted this, and I think he might have been goofing, but it actually did happen, and you always hope to see cool stuff like this unless you're an Oklahoma fan. But Kansas fans went nuts, and they tore the goalpost down, and it eventually ended up in the river. But I don't have the river clip. But guys, can we show the clip of the goalpost going down? Yeah, we're going to show the clip real quick.
Humanity at its finest.
Oh, boy. And that's what makes college football, everybody. Kansas has turned that program around, so they deserve to celebrate, even though it is highly illegal. Moving on into our next game, we got number 1 Georgia versus Florida, a rivalry that has become somewhat uncompetitive in these past few years since Georgia started their championship run. Georgia played a lot better than I thought they were going to without Brock Bowers, and Ladd McConkey was the guy that stepped up in Brock Bowers' absence, putting up 135 yards. Georgia still looks like the number 1 team, despite what a lot of rumors are. I know it gets exhausting seeing Georgia at number 1. But I still think they're the number 1 team. Next up, we've got number 8 Oregon versus number 13 Utah. A highly anticipated matchup in which the loser of this game would be knocked out of playoff contention, and it wasn't even close. Oregon destroyed Utah in this game, and Utah had some kind of home winning streak, and it was a lengthy one. And that is no longer because Oregon dominated this game. Oregon, if they win out, they're going to the playoffs, and they very well could win the championship this year. Bo Nix is playing as good as anybody else in the country right now, and Dan Lanning has turned this team into a serious threat come playoff time. Next up, we've got Georgia Tech facing off against number 17 North Carolina. Is this even an upset anymore? Because Georgia Tech has won this matchup 3 years in a row now, and North Carolina has been good the past 2 years, when Georgia Tech was on the lower end of the ACC. Georgia Tech looks a lot better than they have, though, in the past few years, ever since Brent Key took over, and their program's on the up and up. And finally, we've got number 11, Oregon State, facing off against Arizona. Oregon State has been a sneaky team this year, but they will not be playing in the playoffs, and this confirms it. I'm not sure anybody was thinking that Oregon State was going to play in the playoffs, but they did have a chance. It was an outside chance, but they had a chance. Arizona's a 5-3 team. It's an upset. Oregon State should have won this game. Uyunglele and the boys could not get it done. And that is going to wrap up the show for today, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you on the flip-flop. See you next week, everybody. Take care.